Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome to Kerpew. Today, we are doing the part 2 and potential finale for the Are Slam-fire Shotguns Overrated? We did a pretty good speed test and accuracy test last time. The accuracy test, a lot of people were saying that it would be a lot better with buckshot and slugs, so that is what I'm here to bring you today. And of course, we'll just have some B-roll of some fast firing because we can. All right, but let's get straight into it. All right, so the test setup is going to be basically the same, but for those of you who don't know, we got this large sheet of paper. We're going to be shooting from about 20 yards with all guns, and this time we've got a second camera so you can see the little doobly-doo while I'm shooting. So let's get to it. All right, and we are back with our starter, the Remington 870. We are using Fiocchi 9-pellet double-aught buck for this, and we will get straight into it. All right, that felt pretty good. Look at the footage. So, I didn't mention this when I had the Remington out, but obviously the Remington has like a 28-inch barrel with a modified cylinder choke built into the barrel. This has an 18.5-inch barrel with no choke. So we'll see how that goes. I know it's an accuracy test, so I should be slow firing it, but it's a Slamfire shotgun, so who's going to do that? So let's get into business. Okay, only one slight jam. Probably my fault. I probably half stroked it there. But let's go take a look at our group down there. And now we're back to our speed demon, the Mossberg 930. Now, this one does have a screw-in choke. It is a full cylinder, so this is technically the most choked out of all three of the shotguns. We'll see if that helps at all. Alrighty, let's go take a look. Alright, so now we are going to be trying slugs. This time we're going to be hitting a steel target instead of paper, and we're going to be firing a little bit slower since you would be shooting slower with slugs. Alright, good loud hits. Let's take a look. Back to our Slamfire. I've never shot slugs to this before, so I don't know how accurate it's going to be, so let's find out together. High. It shoots high. And last but not least, we have the Mossberg 930. Now the red dot on it is zeroed for about 100 yards, so I'm going to be aiming slightly low, and we will see how she fares. All right. Now that we have all the test results in, we can finally answer the question, are Slamfire shotguns overrated? And the answer, in my opinion, is yes, they are. The biggest reason is most modern shotguns, with their more modularity and the ability to just accept questionable optics and other accessories, just makes them better. It makes it easier for the shooter, it makes it more accessible for more people, and they still make these, so absolutely. Versus these, they haven't made a Slamfire shotgun, I believe, since the early 70s, and that was due to safety issues. Now, that doesn't mean Slamfire shotguns aren't cool. This is a cool, fun, and mechanically interesting gun. So the very first thing I want to point out is this. This is a very early design of what many shotguns, in the Remington 870 and the Mossberg here included, still utilize a form of this locking system. Now granted, the locking system isn't cut into the receiver anymore, it's cut into the barrel, but this is like its great-great-grandpappy. The other thing that I like about a lot of older shotguns is they have very cool and interesting ways to be taken apart, versus more modern shotguns, a lot less interesting, but still useful. But these do have that safety issue, and that safety issue is what makes it cool and fun, because I believe there was an incident where a police officer shoots another police officer with a Slamfire shotgun. I don't remember the type. I don't even remember exactly when it happened. But basically, he violated one of the 4 rules of gun safety. He had his finger on the trigger. And this one is not loaded. Chamber and magazine tube are both empty. He racked it with his finger on the trigger. Boom! Officer next to him gets shot. Obviously, violating that rule of firearm safety and having it loaded, not a good time. But considering that every other firearm that's in common use with civilians don't have that feature, it is theoretically a liability, which is why most firearms companies stopped manufacturing Slamfire shotguns. They all gave them what we consider a standard trigger today. Now, that's not to say if you can't get one at a good price, I'd absolutely say go for it. There's a ton of different Slamfires out there, all with very unique mechanical ways of not only disassembly, but how they lock and function. I think they're super interesting. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of this heat. Thank you for watching Kerpew. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.